Let's talk about ZIPPERFACE from 1992. It's a leather-clad killer, basically dressed like a kinky gimp. And you think you'd get a lot of that. There'd be a lot of gorgeous women being slain, and you got this kinky killer going around, and it's going to be quite bloodthirsty and a really good slasher time. Nope, you get a boring, overly drawn out, lots of talking, more drama than slashing. So too much of this, not enough of this, and it turns out to be quite the tame experience. Not too much blood. You'd assume, looking at the cover, it's absolutely, pretty horrific, but it's one of those cases where the cover basically is better than the film. Where you get a film and you think, wow, this cover's amazing, I can't wait to watch this, and then the film turns out to be rather subtle and rather tame. Tells the story of this police officer. She's promoted to detective. They're after this zipper-faced killer who's going around killing women in his leather-clad outfit, and yeah, it's not all that interesting. There's a huge focus on the detective's relationship, her and her boyfriend Michael. Huge emphasis on that, and it's quite boring watching them make love and sit there in each other's arms telling each other how much they love one another. And then of course you've got the side characters like the other detective. Her partner's pretty cool. He's a cool guy, the older detective. He's quite fun, but other than that, the kills are boring. It's rather tame. It's just drama. It's like a drama with a sub-slasher plot. Not very interesting at all. I picked this Blu-ray up the other week. I thought, yeah, this film looks amazing. ZIPPERFACE. It's probably going to be a lost Slashy, like hidden gem. No, just a boring load of tame rubbish that's not really well known for that reason, I'd imagine, because it's just pretty boring. So yeah, if you've not seen ZIPPERFACE, you're not missing much. The kills are rather tame. You see the blade go in people a couple of times, but nothing bloodthirsty. There's barely any blood. Obviously they didn't want to spend on the special effects in that area, so you just see a blade sort of go in, and it just stays there. Oh, he's killed somebody, he's put a blade in them. Yeah, ZIPPERFACE weren't too keen on it at all. Quite tame, quite lame. ZIPPERFACE, load of talking, not enough slashing. So yeah, very talky drama, featuring a leather-clad killer. There's a look at some of the pictures from the back. Runs at about 1 hour 29 minutes, and that's far too long for me. This film felt long at 50 minutes, and I did feel myself dozing off. So ZIPPERFACE, thumbs down from me. Looks amazing, covers amazing, but the film itself is just a boring drama featuring a subplot of a killer that barely kills anybody and barely does it in any brutal fashion. So that's my take on ZIPPERFACE. So before we head on to the feature presentation, I thought I'd just do some slasher recommendations, and I normally recommend stuff from the 88 film Slasher Classics collection, and this time around I'm going to recommend 1990s Popcorn. This is a fun one. Basically, a lot of the film's set in a cinema. You got this killer going around, you don't know who it is, which is mostly the case with a slasher film. But yeah, check out Popcorn, pretty fun. And also, which I also have on the Slasher Classics line, that's Alice, Sweet Alice, classic 70s sort of slasher movie about a young girl. Is she the killer, isn't she? Quite ambiguous. And she lives in an apartment block with her mother and younger sister, and yeah, they all suspect her, but I don't think it's actually her doing the killing. But you'll have to find out in Alice, Sweet Alice. Okay, so onto the feature presentation of today's Slashy Trashy, and it goes to 1988's The Undertaker, starring Joe Spinell from, of course, Maniac. You must have seen Maniac. It's a very famous slasher movie, where he's scalping the women and putting the scalps on the mannequins and talking to them and all that sort of crazy shit. But The Undertaker is also another good one. Joe Spinell's really good in it. Stars some other people, but this is a great Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. He plays The Undertaker. Basically, he's taking his victims and he's killing them, and then has a hideout inside his mortuary. He's got a little hideout where he keeps his victims' bodies and things like that. The police are trying to uncover who the killer is. His nephew, I think, has a bit of an inkling or suspicion of him. And he's just trying to hide the fact that he's the killer. And it's very sleazy, quite likened to Maniac in that aspect. You know, it's got a sleazy looking aesthetic. Joe Spinell, nice and sleazy as always, putting in a great performance of sleaze. You know, playing like sort of like the dirty-handed killer. And yeah, it's a really fun one. And I do recommend this one, and that's today's highly recommended, that's today's feature presentation and highly recommended slasher, this one. So on the back, I'll just read a bit of the back. His name's Roscoe, played by Joe Spinell. He's been the town undertaker. However, inside the funeral home, he's been amassing a bloody collection of human souvenirs, which he uses in unspeakable acts of violence and perversion. When some townspeople begin to disappear under strange circumstances, Roscoe's nephew starts to grow suspicious of the goings-on at his uncle's funeral parlour. As he gets closer to the truth, he inadvertently begins putting the lives of those around him at risk as well as his own. One of cult superstar Joe Spinell's final films, The Undertaker, is a dark and violent slasher featuring one of Spinell's most memorable and flamboyant performances. Long thought lost and only available in bootleg or its radically recut and heavily censored version, Vinegar Syndrome proudly presents The Undertaker, newly restored from the original 35mm original camera negative, on Blu-ray for the first time. Also included are never before seen outtakes, production still gallery, and brand new interview and commentary with writer, actor, director William Kennedy, who tells the story of this unjustly forgotten slice of 80s horror. So I went on a little bit there. That's what it says on the back of The Undertaker. There's a few stills and stuff like that. Great Blu-ray. It's region free, still available. I haven't got the slipcover edition. I've just got this Blu-ray, but highly recommended The Undertaker. You know, you got Joe Spinell playing a really sleazy role as always. One of his final roles. Very likened to Maniac, so if you love Maniac, you're going to like The Undertaker. He's back to his tricks of being a killer and stuff like that, so highly recommended. This is what the disc looks like. Inside you get your 2 discs, you got your Blu-ray and your DVD. Yeah, check out The Undertaker. It's much better than ZIPPERFACE, put it that way. Anyway, that's the end of Slashy Trashy for today. Keep watching them trashy slashers. Bye.